And we are going live with Our House Mondays. Our House Mondays, welcome back. You can only enter the live stream if you have your mask on. Just kidding. That's what they want you to wear in the car. This is like a hardcore sports mask here. Pretty tight, pretty difficult to breathe. I welcome you all. Please feel free to share your current status, how your earnings are going, if you're still collecting PUA, if you finally got PUA. We have a lot to discuss today, my friends, a lot to discuss. Anyway, this thing here is not a great thing for live feeds, I can tell you that. So this comes off. But in the cars, they still have to stay on. Welcome, we have 15 people in the house. We've got Garcia Bui in the house. We got Jimmy Abstract Echo, first guy on the scene. It's a Monday, it's a new week. How is everyone doing? How is everyone holding up? Todd, my friend, good to see you. Emias, hi from DC. That's my city of birth, Georgetown. How are you? Yeah, let's jump in on that one right away. I mean, that PUA, another update this morning is that they're really battling it out. They're really battling it out, right? And this could be in Congress for another 30 days. So there's going to be a big lapse where we are not going to get those $600, $500 according to the Democrats, $200 according to the Republicans. We don't know where the chips are going to fall, but the one guy we need to put relentless pressure on, there's only one guy. His name is Mitch McConnell. I call him Moscow Mitch. I don't like the guy. I can tell you that. You know, they have corporations' best interest at heart. They don't have, you know, they're trying to abolish this $600. And with everything flaring up, with the numbers so bad, probably worst ever, 143,000 deaths in the United States. Now more than ever, the $600 should continue. Your thoughts, right? Your thoughts. Jersey's in the house. Michael Levitt. Yeah, anonymous driver. I'm not a fan of. It doesn't matter where you stand on politics, but Mitch McConnell has done nothing for Kentucky. He's done nothing for the people. He's only looked out for his best interest over all the years. One of the richest senators out there, probably worth $30-40 million, and he needs to go. No matter how you stand in politics, if you want to start moving things forward, Mitch McConnell has to go. Mitch McConnell is the guy holding up our show, right? And it's going to be an epic battle. It's going to be an epic showdown between these two sides in Congress. But there will be a break. There will be a certain day when you are expecting the monies, and they will not be there because there will be a lapse in payment, if a payment at all, right? So that's where things stand right now with Moscow Mitch. Mark Routen's in the house. Nevada is at a high amount. Yeah, high amount of infections. Super high in Florida, super high in Texas, super high in California. At one stage, we were on top of it in California, and then then the wheels came off. And then this whole COVID thing went rampant. I was feeling very optimistic. I really was. I still am. I'm an optimist. But there was one point, probably about a month ago, and we're heading in the right direction. And then, boom, the wheels came off. Karen's in the house. Who else do we have in the house? Who haven't I given a shout out to? Iluta Hilaire, welcome. And Lisa, I hope you had a great weekend. I hope everyone is staying safe. I hope that you're going to be making some big decisions, right? Because we're roughly 10 days away and then the support runs out. And the big question mark that I have is, will a lot of drivers get back in the field? Triss is in the house. Screen, no, 4. I got one live feed up there, one big screen right in front of me with Cape Town, the setting, pretty much the view from my house when I lived in Cape Town, South Africa. So that's beautiful blue skies looking over the bay. Got that in the background over there. Got another laptop to my left, and I got the Apple computer in front of me. So we've got 4 sets of technologies running here. Yesterday, I listened to a great live stream by Dark Road Run, DRR. I learned a lot. I asked a lot of questions, and he was giving a lot of valuable information about cameras and lenses, vlogging, live streaming. And he pretty much helped me made up my mind that I want to get the new Canon EOS M50 with all the bells and whistles, right? That sounds like an amazing camera for live streaming, for vlogging, and he made it so much easier for me to make that decision. Asked about the sound, I asked about the lenses, I asked about the Wi-Fi modes, and DRR answers everything. He's awesome, the guy. Go Donnie comes in the house, our house in the middle of the street, just another manic Monday. You mixed the Bangles with Madness. Am I right? Those are the 2 bands. Manic Monday, Bangles. Just another manic Monday. Wish it was Sunday. No, I don't actually wish it was Sunday. Sunday was a good day. Spent it on the beach in Malibu. But Our House, yes, that's Madness. Remember them? Our house in the middle of the street. Our house, that is where ridesharers meet. Michael Levitt, were you read about 500, 200 proposal? Oh, where did I read about it? Oh, it's in several news. It's on several news outlets. The 500, 200 proposal, but that's way apart. So you don't really have a meeting of the minds. And I mean, if you guys, sorry, the 2 absolute dickheads in the whole thing, Mnuchin, I cannot stand the guy, just looking after his cronies. And apparently these billions and billions and billions of dollars of loans, he's now turning into grants. You know what a grant is? You don't have to pay it back. It's free money for the cronies, right? Vote for me, you will get money. It's horrible. It's horrible what's happening out there. So between him and Mnuchin, and Moscow Michi, they're screwing it up all for us because the money is going elsewhere. It's not coming our way, right? It's going to big corporates. There was a transportation company which was running $70 million in the negative. It was literally about to fall apart. It got a lifeline of a few $100 million because Mnuchin knew the guys. First, it was structured as a loan. Now it's supposed to be given to a company that's so bust in the red, so in the minus. They gave them a lifeline of a couple of $100 million that will apparently be turned into a grant, meaning you don't have to pay it back. Our money. So billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars have gone the wrong way. Michael Levitt, can't find it. I'll find it. It's not my number 1 priority right now, buddy. My number 1 priority now is to engage with everyone in Our House Mondays. But text me, I'll send it to you. Jeff Lawson says, hello, folks. We say hello back. Godonicom says, absolutely, shout, shout, let it all out. These are the things we're talking about. Rideshare, I'm talking to you. Rideshare. Remember that? Shout, shout. Who was that? Who sang shout, shout? Help me out, Godoni. Help me out. Shout, shout, let it all out. That's it. You got to let it all out. You cannot internalize it. You cannot bottle it. You cannot leave it inside of you, otherwise it'll fester and you will explode. So just shout and leave. Tears for fears. Thank you. Tip of my tongue. Tears for fears. Tris and Jimmy, same time. Paulie says, no wonder there are two parties. There are really one party working for corporations. Both of them have handled this wrong. Thank you very much for saying that. Both of them have. Both Democrats and Republicans have just cozied up to the corporations, right? I mean, if I'm a CEO, I've said this before on previous feeds, if I'm a CEO and I know I'm always going to get a bailout, no matter what happens, the state will always bail me out. First, apparently, as a loan and then free money as a grant. Where's my incentive to lead? Where's my incentive to manage? Where's my incentive to become creative when I know I'm always get a bailout? There were 2 or 3 countries in Europe. I want to say Denmark was one of them. And if the corporation screwed up, guess what? You're out of the game. You're not going to get free money from Denmark, right? You're out. And that's the way it should be. Seriously. Why always this free money, right? There's no incentive whatsoever to lead your company. If you're a mortgage, if you're a bank, if you're an airline, and every time something goes wrong, hey, we'll bail you out. We'll bail you out. Tris says, neither was I. LMAO. Is that simple minds, shout, shout, let it all out, or is that tears for fears? Godonicom says it's simple minds. I think it's tears for fears. Godoni. Just check it out, please. Mark says, I can't wonder if the Democrats win the White House, if the pandemic will be over with or not as bad as everyone thought. So many rumors out there. Well, the pandemic is the pandemic. It's already been screwed up. So no matter who takes the captain's wheel, at this point, you are inheriting a disaster. If Biden takes the captain's wheel, he's inheriting a disaster. Where there was a complete breakdown and failure was from day one, that people did not act on the intelligence. People did not test early. And I know that firsthand because from very day one, I was FaceTiming and talking with my friends in Germany, doctors high up that did a lot of the testing. And right out of the bat, they started testing and they started working on it and they started implementing things that would keep people safe. Here, people are so far apart. They're so far apart on this, on masks. They're so far apart on opening or keeping the economy closed. There's no meeting of the minds, my friends. This country has never, ever been divided as it is right now, right? We are definitely not acting like brothers and sisters, sadly. There's a huge, huge wedge, a huge axe between American citizens. They are completely on opposite sides of the spectrum, plus minus, right? The polarity could not be stronger, right? So we need to work together. Iluda says, what happened to Paula? We don't, Paula, every 2 to 3 weeks, she makes an appearance. She's very active in the room, and then she goes. And then she's back, and then she goes for 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know, but I hope she's well. I hope she's well. I hope she is taking care of herself. Slick Nick says, tears for fears. I'll go with tears for fears. Paulie says COVID-19 is a worldwide pandemic, not a political conspiracy. I'm 100%. It's not a political conspiracy. It's not just country related. So this was everywhere. My friends in South Africa, I speak to a lot of people all around the globe weekly, and They tell me how their leaders are handling it. They are telling me about their lifestyle, what orders have been put in place, what they have to do. And in South Africa, it's, sadly, the poor don't have access to these type of things, don't even have the transport to get to a clinic where they could maybe get a mask, right? Or get sanitizer. So it's sad. It's sad. It is South Africa's high numbers, very high numbers. And then you look at a country like Taiwan or probably New Zealand, the role model, day one. They know what's happening in China and boom, 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 they shut it all down. My friend in Italy who just came back, and he was there when it took off in Italy. And Italy was, after China, probably the hardest hit country. And he could not leave the house. He had to get a certificate. He was in Italy, in Rome. And he actually is in Milan, so he wanted to get back to Milan. He couldn't. Everything was shut down. So he was there for months. He just recently came back to LA, and he said, because we shut down, because we followed the orders, because we kept everything on lockdown, we got a grip on it, a complete grip on it. And now people can go back to life. Jose Almeida, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp signed an executive order banning all cities from the mask wearing requirement. The Atlanta mayor has refused that order, and the city of Atlanta is getting sued. Yeah, I know. Stupid politics, dumb politics, right? And I'm sorry to say it. This is my version, and I will follow this all day long. All day long. Why? Because I see the results from other countries. I see how the people have acted and got a grip on it. And I studied in Germany, and I spent many years in Germany. And they are highly organized, and they're on the same beat and on the same page. And they got their shit together. We didn't. New Zealand also had their crap together. We don't, right? So here you, classic fashion, you got the governor suing the mayor. We don't want to wear masks. We should wear masks. We don't want to wear masks. We should wear. A shit show. So you want to wonder why you have 143,000 people dead, record numbers in the world. It's because there's no meetings of the minds. There's no set law in place. It is an SHITSHOW shit show. Absolute madness. How, and there's a psychology behind it why people don't want to wear masks. Because they feel like somebody's trying to rule them or dominate them. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with your safety, your health, your children, your elderly grandparents taking care and stopping it and slowing it down and putting a lid on it, right? Putting a lid on it. And I got to say, I am pretty impressed when I'm driving around in LA and surroundings, how the majority of the people are playing ball. They realize if they don't act now, it's gonna grow out of control. Archetype Gamer in the house says, hola everyone. Wicked Hustle Guy says, what's going on everybody? In the house with Wicked Hustle Guy, yes. Slick Nick, I've seen articles that experts say we can really raise the chances of containing the virus if everyone would work in synchronicity, like I hear from my friends and family in Europe, specifically Germany, like I hear from my friends in New Zealand, even Australia. They're not on the same page. There's opposing views on this whole thing, right? I saw footage in Houston, Texas 2 or 3 days ago of a big house party. Hundreds and hundreds of people partying together at a big house party. Shit show. Shit show. Right? Absolute shit show. No meeting of the minds. Never ever in the history of this country have been people on such completely opposite sides of the spectrum. And because you're not working together, because you're not looking at the issue and solving the issue, you will not ever solve the issue with that type of attitude, right? And I'm very vocal about that. I'm very, very opinionated about that. And I have zero problems losing subscribers over that. If a subscriber, like the other day, emails me this vicious email, oh, you just a little PUSSY for wearing your masks, I have news for you. Go jump in an ice cold lake 5 miles out, right? And start swimming. See if you make it back to the shore. And then click, delete, unsubscribe. I don't need people attacking my opinion. You can have your own opinion, but when it comes to my health and your health, us working together, us looking out for each other, right? IQ boys in the house, James House in the house. You gotta put the lid on it, man. You gotta give people strict instructions. You're not saying, hey, line up for your vaccines. You're not saying that, because that's like, that's fear mongering. I'm afraid of vaccines. I am. I'm not gonna have somebody squirt some juice in my body that I don't know what it is. It's not gonna happen. But if I see doctors and nurses have been wearing this for decades, right? Because sick people come into their practice, sick people come into hospital, they want to catch that crap that the people are bringing in, right? And then all the misinformation that is fed into social media, into Twitter, into Facebook, dividing us. We don't need to be divided. We need to work together. We truly need to work together and get a grip on this so that we can move forward. If we're not on the same page, or if we think, oh, it's not, you're weak, you're not a macho when you wear a mask, you're a weakling. No, you're not. You're not a weakling. I can walk around with my kids with a mask on. Hopefully the people walking by me are wearing a mask. If not, I make a 6-foot detour around them, right? Because they're not on the same page. But if I see a group of people like I did yesterday on the beach, they all have their masks on, we walk side by side, we keep a little bit of a distance. I go, oh, thank you. I say, in my mind, I say, thank you for doing your part. Thank you for being a parent and protecting your children, because that's what I'm doing over here. I'm protecting my kids and we working together. And thank you. You working together, we working together. Let's get this thing done in 4 to 8 weeks. Right, but if I walk over there and then I was in Utah, climbing through the mountains, going up, I see 15 kids, 18 to 21, right? All bundled, partying, going down the hill, and walking in between the people, no respect for each other, no wearing masks. I'm like, there comes a disaster. I get out the way, I even said something. I was like waiting for one of those youngsters to chat back. I said, you guys are not working together with the other folks that are trying to get this. I tell the guy, he just looks at me like I'm a parked car, and they keep on partying and they keep on going down the hill, right? So Muhammad Khalil's in the house. He says, when I was young, I tried to prove I wasn't a chicken. I ended up breaking my leg by jumping off a small water well. And I'm with you. I've done that too. And I think a lot of people have. You get this pressure from your friends. You got to be tough. You got to be macho. I hear you, right? I completely hear you, Muhammad. I was on a second story with a big umbrella, one of those big giant umbrellas, and they say, people say, oh, you chicken, you can't jump down. I said, I'll parachute down, and I jumped down with this giant umbrella. Well, I went one way into the ground, and like you, I hurt my leg, right? So we learn. We're supposed to learn from our mistakes, right? We're supposed to learn from pain. If you put your hand in a flame, you're going to get burned. You're supposed to learn from that, right? Archetype Gamer says Generation Z are a bunch of idiots. Generation Z are a bunch of idiots. Well, I've got some Generation Z sitting at the back there. They just like, what? What did he just say? Look, they are a part of Generation Z. that have been well educated, well taught by their parents, and know how to play the game correctly. And then you get a whole bunch of rebels that think, nah, this doesn't exist. We'll go out partying, we'll do this, we'll be with our friends, and we'll share misinformation because we're cool. We're just too cool. So I hear you. And Wicked Hustle Guy says, yes, there are idiots in every generation, 100%. There are knuckleheads. There are idiots in every single generation. In the senior generation, in our generation, in the Generation X and the Generation Z, you name it. There are knuckleheads and idiots in everyone. But right now, all of these generations cannot afford just to do what the hell they want. Got to get them all on the same page and put a lid on it. And you know why I say that? Because there are models that have shown us how it's done. What we are doing is not working, folks. And I know we spend a lot of time on the topic, but if that's what the people want to talk about right here, this is your house. You choose the topic. I'm going to run with it. I will give you my feedback. I will read out. I'm going to run with it. The anonymous driver says, even if a mask isn't 100% corona proof, it is still better than nothing. I will agree with that 120%, right? If it's 70% corona proof, it's still better. You might eliminate a couple of infections. Which one was one of your better ones? We have, let me just see, I see a new name in the house, Vitali Kroitori. You are doing expensive luxury transportation. What do you think about the economy? Private can be profitable. Yes. You know what, Vitali, to answer your question, I'm seeing that market coming back strong. My private bookings are picking up, because they sort of see that on the rideshare side, and that is no disrespect, zero disrespect towards the rideshare drivers, because we're all family. But when you have so many riders rotating through a vehicle, and you have a person who maybe has the money to book an Uber or an SUV or a Black or an Excel or a Comfort, says, you know what, I don't necessarily want to hop in a car when I know that the guy has done 20 trips in one day. I don't know what's inside of that car. So I will rather spend that little bit more and drive private. So yes, I see a long story short, Vitali, the private sector is coming back strong. My private bookings are going up, and I'm not being shy when it comes to charging. I'm charging more because I have 4 bottles of hand sanitizers in all the doors, right? I have boxes of face masks situated around the car if people don't have face masks. And I encourage them, hey, if you're heading out, take a couple of spare ones with you. Wow, thank you. Really? Can I? They take 2 or 3 masks with them. You know where I get it back? In tips. $20, $50. I got a $100 tip for a mask. Dude, you rescued me to go to this meeting. I didn't pack my mask in. He was in the car and already just hit the highway. He goes, shit, I forgot my mask. I said, don't worry, I got a mask. I got you covered. And those little type of extras, charge them. Charge them accordingly. Slick Nick says, for those that believe COVID is a hoax, they play stupid games. They win stupid prizes, getting infected due to large gatherings, and someone in the group is sick, for example. What is that all about? Exactly. You're right. Lorenzo Davis, what's up? Out striking today. Are you out striking really? Where are you? Fill us in, Lorenzo. Where are you striking? IQ Boy says, who are sending your kids back to school this year? Well, on my side here, this LA district or this Las Virgenes district closed, shut down. There's a great article on hazard pay. I've got to make a separate video about it. I read a great article about hazard pay. Why have we not received hazard pay? Why have they not passed hazard pay for essential workers on the front lines? Many countries have done this. Japan has done this. Other countries have done this. Why don't we pass hazard pay? Lorenzo Davis in Los Angeles. Really, there's a strike going on, or a protest. What is it? Sunny Days is in the house. Teach your children well. So, an article that I want to read to you from the UK, which I think could be a game changer, depending on the outcome of their Supreme Court hearing in the United Kingdom. This is a big one. 2 drivers, bold. I'm behind it. If they want to do an interview, hit me up. Uber drivers to launch legal bid to uncover app's algorithm. What does that mean? They have launched a legal case, right, which is elevated all the way up to the Supreme Court now. They say, hang on, we are workers. You say you're treating us as independent contractors, but you're not. So let's see, the proof is in the algorithms. Let's look at the algorithms. They want to open up the data of the algorithms so that they can show that they are in the right, and they are pushing, subpoenaing for that data. Obviously, Uber and Lyft want to keep that safe, that lid closed. They don't want to reveal that data. Could it show discrimination? Could it show price fixing? Could it show this? Could it show that? They say, hang on, if you have nothing to hide, then show us. It's the same with the guy's taxes, right? With Trump's taxes. If you have nothing to hide, like every other president in the past, show us your taxes. Hey, Uber, Lyft, show us your algorithms. Show us that you are not manipulating the drivers, right? This is what this case is about. Interesting case. Union wants ride-sharing firm to increase transparency and disclose how data is used. Let me say that again. The union behind this lawsuit, with the front, 2 drivers leading it, want ride-sharing firm to increase transparency and disclose how the data is used. How is your data used, Uber and Lyft? How do you use it? As Rida Gandhi is in the house, I welcome you. How are you? Hope you and your family are doing well, my friend. Abstract Impressions, Karen says, I've been lucky that my arts has been selling consistently for the last few months. Beautiful. It's the only income I've got. It's getting very hard to keep food on the table, and the rent hasn't been paid in 4 months. I'm very sorry to hear that. Wicked Hustle Guy says, even when they slightly move towards a private contractors model, they'll fit it with warnings against the tools. SMH. It's Moose is in the house. These companies are public companies. They should make their algorithms open source. Thank you. Appreciate that. Leo Casomento is in the house. Is Uber now offering boost in certain times of the day? It looks like Uber needs drivers, and they do need drivers, and they're doing everything. And we're going to go into that a little bit later. I've got a lot of interesting stuff coming. So in this specific one, I would hope we duplicate this here in the United States of America. I would hope that we adopt the same type of legal strategy towards Uber and Lyft and ask for this data as they have done in the UK, because I think we could really, really benefit. If they say we are true independent contractors, well, let's find out if we are true independent contractors. Show us your SHIT. Show us your stuff, right? Many cab drivers will launch a legal bid to uncover secret computer algorithms used by Uber to manage their work in a test case that could increase transparency for millions of gig economy workers across Europe. Obviously, Uber and Lyft are going to argue, hey, that is our patented material. This is our secret material. We don't just openly share that with the world. Otherwise, everybody would copy our material and we would be out of business. So it'll be interesting to see how this case goes. Currently, I only have 15 likes. I need a few more. So hit that button. Boink, 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 boink. Thank you. 2 UK drivers, bless their souls, 2 UK drivers, love it already, are demanding to see the huge amounts of data the ride-sharing company collects on them and how this is used to exert management control. How does Dara control us? How does Tony West control us? How does John Zimmer control us? How does Logan Green control us? Show us. UK courts say, show us that info, right? Including through automated decision-making that invisibly shapes their jobs. The case is being brought on Monday by the UK-based app drivers and couriers union in the district court in Amsterdam, where the international headquarters of the $56 billion ride-hailing firm is located. So, if you were wondering where the international headquarters were, it's in Amsterdam. Okay? It's a pretty liberal city. I am a huge fan of Amsterdam. I've been to Amsterdam many times. Love Amsterdam. Great people, great vibe, beautiful during summer, great beaches, Zandvoort, Rotterdam, Amsterdam. Great place. Love the people. That is where the international headquarters of Uber are. The union said transparency was essential in checking if Uber was exercising, listen to this, discrimination or unequal treatment between drivers. So show us your algorithm so we can once and for all prove or not prove if you are discriminating or if you have unequal treatment between the drivers. You and I know this is going on. Come on. We know it's going on here. We know that there's unequal treatment between drivers. We know that there is a degree of discrimination on the apps. So let's get in there and let's find out. It will also allow drivers to organize and build collective bargaining power. This is the part that I like. It will also allow drivers to organize and build collective bargaining power over terms of work and pay in a way that is currently impossible. It is currently impossible because they still control the show and they set the rates. Therefore, their argument that we are true independent contractors straight out the window. As long as they are still controlling the show and controlling the rates, they are not treating you as independent contractors, period. Mark Rowden says, discrimination, not Uber. I like it. Good sarcasm there. Very cool. The case is being brought on Monday by the UK-based, I've read that already. It came at the start of a significant week for Uber's business model in the United Kingdom. On Tuesday, the company begins its Supreme Court challenge against landmark rulings that the former Uber drivers Yassine Aslam and James Farrar, founders of the ADCU, should have been treated as workers rather than self-employed contractors, and so should have benefited from the minimum wage and paid holidays. So that to me sounds almost like a duplication or a spin-off of California's AB5, right? Techie B is in the house, says, bought 50-pack of Sam's Club mask for $15, good deal, it's a good deal. Sold 8 in Sacramento, $5 each, that's $40. You already made a $25 profit after 8 masks. We had this discussion the other day, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Love the way this conversation is going. 2 gave me a $20 tip. So on top of the 40, you got a 20 tip. So you're already on $80. You've spent 15, you got 80. Reduced SAC cancel rides. She reduced her cancellations, up the trips, right? So made more money on that side. From 30 to 10%, right? In San Francisco, 100% riders arrived with masks, 175 rides last week. Now that is amazing, amazing data shared in our room today, in this session here, right? You just shared highly, highly valuable information. That's the way I see that little paragraph. It teaches me a lot. It should teach others a lot, right? That box of masks, you can turn it into gold. And Techie B broke it down for us. That her tips went up, she sold several, and she brought her cancellations down. That is an amazing, amazing ABC knowledge here that you are sharing with drivers. So if I see that, if I hear that, and I've done this already, I can literally show you in my car this afternoon. I have a big pack of 50 masks right in the middle, and the people immediately ask about it. Oh wow, that's awesome. You got a whole huge box of masks. Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome. Take one or two, right? Because I'm going to get it in form of a tip, as she said. She got 220, or they don't have it and they say, hey, may I buy one? Sure. They offer you a $5 donation for a mask. Fair, very fair. Scott Tucker's in the house. Scott, you should leave your link for credit repair. I got some of your emails. He just launched his credit repair company. Sridhar Gandhi says, Professor, any new players are coming near future to the US market? I think the only serious player on the horizon would be Bolt, somewhere in the near future when it starts normalizing, and also the Canadians that I'm working with, the co-op, right? But everyone's in the same boat. Nobody is spending. No company is spending right now. They are just trying to see where they can increase their margins. The existing companies are taking more than before because they're losing. And we are unfortunately the negative recipients of that, right? But other companies wanting to break in, it's timing, timing, timing. In business, they teach you location, 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 timing, timing, timing. Well, the fact is timing, timing, timing don't add up for many of the newcomers. But yes, to answer your question, they're in the flight pattern waiting. Listen, if New Zealand would fully open up, right, probably a great time to open up a ride-sharing company in New Zealand because they're back to normal. They got this thing under control. We don't. Dennis Torres is in the house. Long Beach is in the house. Good to see you, my brother. That is an amazing individual. I had the pleasure of meeting him down in the good LB, and I'm going to be down there tomorrow, Dennis. So if you want a burrito, if you want some nice Mexican food from Redondo and 7th Street, there's a great taquerias. We can hit that place up. It's on me, my brother. I'll be down there working on my Bel Air all day long, mañana. Mainly on the interior. Red carpets, red mats, white and red seats, door covers. Takes time. And John B says, have some cheesecake. You are freaking killing me. But I love the humor. If there's anything I love that I look forward to Monday to Monday, our house Mondays, it's the humor. Because for some reason, people cannot leave cheesecake out of the equation. I don't know why. It always comes up. Someone always thinks of cheesecake. And John B once again stumped me there. So on my next Costco run, what am I going to be thinking about? I'm going to be thinking about that cheesecake that John B brought up. Dennis Torres says 6 feet distance. Yes, I will buy the burrito. I'll put it down on a plate and then I'll move 6 feet away from you, Dennis. And then you can eat your burrito and I'll eat my burrito 6 feet. But I will go up and I will give you one of those classic elbow bumps. Boom! How are you? Slick Nick says, I had a banana cream pie shake from Coco's yesterday. Oh my God, these guys are killing me. In honor of National Ice Cream Day. I love it. In honor of National. Had no idea that it was National Ice Cream Day yesterday. My kids, Laura's kids, our kids, we all went down to Mondo's yesterday. We went surfing. Afterwards, I hit the outlets, the Camarillo outlets, got myself some nice clothing. And then we did a classic stop at In-N-Out, with the strawberry milkshakes and a double animal style and animal fries. For anyone out there that hasn't tasted an In-N-Out, it's a must. It's a must. We're talking about love and light. We're talking about food and drinks right now. We have been all over the map. And I still haven't finished this article. I will. But we have been all over the map on Our House Mondays. We have been talking about politics. We have been talking about the PUA that has been stalled in Congress. We have been talking about food and drinks. We have been talking about rates. We have been talking about a lot of topics today. Strawberries. What are they? Vanilla, chocolate, or strawberry milkshakes at In-N-Out. I don't think they make any other ones. Leo Casamenta says, yeah, you ate a key lime pie on one podcast of yours from Trader Joe's. I got one. Delicious. Aren't they delicious, Leo? Thank you. Cool. I like those. They're very, very sweet, but they're very, very delicious. Wicked Hustle Guy says animal fries are the point. If you haven't tasted animal fries, you got to treat yourself to animal fries if you get into In-N-Out. They do something in that sauce, some type of magic that they put on top of the fries, and they pump cheese in there and they heat it up, and there's pink stuff and there's onions. Lord, it's good. The end result is crazy. Mark Rowden says, love the Oreo crust cheesecake. You're probably talking from the Cheesecake Factory, right? Scott Tucker says, here is a free lenders list that will save on inquiries. Okay, just share that link with us. Do you have that link? Do you have that link? And I can, and that free lenders list, that's what you want to put in a blog on your website, right? So if you release that link, it'll take the people to your website. And Wicked Hustle Guy says, and a Neapolitan shake. Neapolitan shake as well. I haven't had one of those. I haven't had one of those. I think Utah is a great option. Not necessarily like Salt Lake City. So if you wanted to do rideshare, right, you're probably looking at Salt Lake City. But if you wanted to start a business, I wouldn't think twice. I think Utah is full of opportunities. Full of opportunities. Watch out for the cholesterol, says Roger Fettel. Exactly. Can't eat that every day. Otherwise, your artery starts clogging up. And you're like, Abstract Impressions. Karen says, it's too hot for such rich food. It is indeed. So I want to jump into this article and finish it up because I would hope that some law firms, class action law firms, drivers that are suing Uber or Lyft in the future would adapt some of this thinking, right? Because it's really in this data that we will see the truth, right? That we will really see what is going on. The number of adults working on online platforms such as Uber and Deliveroo at least once a week doubled, and this is the UK, doubled between 2016 and 2019 to almost 10% of the adult population, according to a study for the Trades Union Congress. The boom in online shopping during the lockdown saw the parcel delivery company DPD create another 6,000 self-employed jobs. We're talking about the UK, which rely on the use of handheld terminals that track time and motion. This is about the distribution of power, said Anton Ecker, the Amsterdam privacy lawyer leading the case. It's about Uber exerting control through data and automated decision making and how it is blocking access to that. He said the app decides millions of times a day who is going to get what ride. Interesting, right? He said the app decides millions of times a day who is going to get what ride, who gets the niche rides, who gets the short rides. But this is not just about Uber. The problem is everywhere. Algorithms and data give a lot of control, but the people who are subject to it are often no longer aware of it. Very good point. The people that are subject to it, the drivers, are often no longer aware of it. There are many drivers out there that are not aware how they are being controlled by these algorithms. They just drive. I'll do whatever the app says. I'll do whatever the app says. No idea that they're being fully controlled. His argument is Show us the data. Not show us the money. Obviously, they want to collect the money afterwards. Show us the money after the lawsuit, but show us the data. Good for him. I like this guy. Anton Ecker. He's a Dutch guy, I can tell you that. Baie goed, meneer Anton Ecker. Kom na my, ek sal vir jou op YouTube 'n lekker video maak. There it is, my invite to him in Amsterdam. He said the app decides millions of times a day, I'm going to read it again, who is going to get what ride. Who gets the nice rides, who gets the short rides. That's what the app decides. It's Moose says Google secret menu of In and Out. Yep. Oh yeah, if you can, drop over to that other channel and give it a like. Thank you. I see the like went up in that other channel. There's another camera up there. It's a big screen in front of me here. Got quite the configuration here today. Got the phone doing a live feed. Got this computer doing a live feed. Got another big one, Logitech in the background, which I didn't switch on, but which I will. I'll be doing 3 live feeds simultaneously. 3 live feeds. 3 different channels simultaneously. Why do I do that? Why do I do 3 live feeds? It's the same live feed. Why not just do 1? Right? Why not just do 1? If you ask yourself, why am I doing 3? Or why will I next Monday? Now I'm still doing 2. Each Monday I do 2. Why will I be doing 3 feeds? Why did I buy a whole extra computer setup with Logitech webcams, etc., to do 3 live feeds? I'll tell you the short and simple version because I share the cards. I put the cards on the table so you understand why I do 3 feeds at the same time. I do different titles, the videos in a different title. I do the description differently, and I do the portfolio of keywords differently so that all 3 videos behave differently. I pick up people here, I pick up people here, I pick up people here. That results in subscribers, that results in subscribers, that results in subscribers. Subscribers result in more traffic, more videos, more impression, more advertisements running through 3 networks, and guess what? More money. More money. 3 times the live feeds in different configurations, different titles, different descriptions, different keywords. More money. Money, money, money isn't funny in the rideshare world. Wiggle Hustle guy, 4,000 hours. Correct. Need 4,000 hours. So I am now on 4 monetized channels. I have 8 channels. I have 4 monetized. And very soon we're going to have the 5th channel monetized. The claim says Uber uses tags on drivers' profiles, for example, inappropriate behavior, or simply police tag. Reports relate to navigation, late arrival, missed ETA, and professionalism. Cancelled on rider, inappropriate behavior, attitude. The drivers complain they were not being provided with this data or information on the underlying logic of how it was used. They want to know how that processing affects them, including on their driver score. So the claim that they're making against Uber says Uber uses tags on drivers' profiles, for example, inappropriate behavior, or simple police tag, or reports that relate to navigation, late arrival, missed ETA, and professionalism. So let's break that down. If they are monitoring, this is a really interesting one, right? Because they're putting you in categories, right? They are monitoring your professionalism. They are monitoring your ETA. Are you sticking to those ETAs? Or are you diverting and trying to, get a couple of extra minutes, extra miles? How accurate are you on your ETAs? How accurate are you on your professionalism? Do you have any police tags, fines, speeding fines? Do you have any complaints of inappropriate behavior by the riders? Do you have any reports against you on navigation? It's happening here in the United States, and it's happening in the UK, it's happening in Australia, it's happening in South Africa, it's happening in New Zealand, it's happening in South America, it's happening in Canada. All across the board, they are dinging you. They are categorizing you based on that behavior. You screw up, we will only match the best of the best. You know, they want it's almost like Amazon, right? The best customer service and possible. And we will reward the best drivers that don't screw up. Right? Although you're driving on their platform and you're at the mercy of their app, of their algorithms, right? Inevitably, soon enough, you are going to screw up. But if you screw up multiple times, you will be put in a different category. You will be treated differently by their algorithms. Their algorithms are monitoring your ETA, your professionalism, your inappropriate behavior, your police fines that you are picking up at the DMV, your reports by riders on navigation. Oh, I told the guy he was supposed to go there. I'm giving him a 2-star, but he did not listen to my demands and he went down PCH instead of the 4 or 5. Come on, Uber. Really? You're trying to break us down into little different categories? Excellent drivers, good drivers, medium drivers, not so good, trashy drivers. That's what you're doing with your algorithms. The drivers complain they were not being provided with this data or information on the underlying logic of how it was used. They want to know how that processing affects them, including on their driver score. The union members claim Uber has failed to fulfill its obligations in its response to their requests under General Data Protection Regulations, GDPR, they call it in the UK. They want to see their detailed driver profiles, comments about them made by Uber staff, and how more than 24 categories of data gathered about them are being processed. Listen to that. I did not even realize that they have 24 categories of data gathered on you and me, gathered on Scott Tucker, gathered on JJ, gathered on IQ Boy, gathered on Slick Nick. They have 12 sets of data of all of these individuals, of John B, of Tris, of Jimmy. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. They want to see their detailed driver profiles, comments about them made by Uber staff, and how more than 24 categories of data gathered about them are being processed, legal papers show. Uber collects large amounts of data that provide a very penetrating picture of, amongst other things, the use of the Uber driver app, the location and driving behavior of the driver, communication with customers and the Uber support department. So even you could be picture perfect. You could be picture perfect on the one side, highest rating, no negative comments, but on the other side, you're getting really, really frustrated. You're getting frustrated with the 1-800 number. You're getting frustrated with their customer service. You're still fighting for monies. You're still fighting for referrals. And because you are running up phone calls, because you are harassing them on this side is perfect, this side is not perfect, they will ding you because they have that data. So, but if you are the perfect driver, you don't give their customer service any shit. You don't call the customer service harassing them. You are a 5.0 driver. You arrive on time. You don't discriminate. The comments are great. Well, probably then all that set of data says you are the perfect driver. You don't give them hassles. You don't tie up the customer service. You are the perfect individual to drive for us. And we will give you more trips. And we will make sure you make more money. JJ is in the house. SDG says, I see no problem awarding better rides for better drivers. How is this wrong? As long as it's an ethical evaluation, probably not. Well, you may not have just listened to the part that I said. Let's say SDG, who according to your according to your, and I'm going a little bit deep here on SDG's little message here. He says, I see no problem awarding better rides for better drivers. So my thinking is you believe you are one of those better drivers. Otherwise, you wouldn't have said it. So he says, how is this wrong, right? As long as it's ethical evaluation, probably not. The set of values you are not talking about SDG, let's say on your side, and this is a hypothetical, maybe you fall into that category of the better drivers, of the best drivers, right? Maybe you're in that category, but maybe you're also in the category that calls up the customer service all the time, tries to get paid, tries to complain on this side, right? On this side, you're perfect. On this side, you're complaining, right? At that point, if that is how you operate SDG, and this is a hypothetical, you're not the ideal perfect driver. You may think you are based on your 5.0 rating. You may think you are the perfect driver, and you may think you're entitled to better drives. It's completely your opinion. But they study way more than that. They study 12 different data profiles. They look at everything. They look at how you interact with the hub. They look at what the staff says about SDG. They look at what the people in Manila and the Philippines say about SDG after every single call he or she makes. And then they evaluate you. Now, I want to get through this one because there's another. I want to jump into the Lyft world for a second, into the Lyft world. Hey, we got 26. Thank you. We just got 27. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Uber collects large amounts of data that provide a very penetrating picture of, amongst other things, the use of the Uber Drive app, the location, the driving behavior of the app, the communication with customers and Uber support department and the hubs, the claim states. It argues that under GDPR regulations, which are similar in the UK and the Netherlands, app workers have the right to access profiling data, which includes evaluation of a person's reliability, behavior, location, or movements. Very interesting. Why don't we have access to that? A spokesman for Uber said, our privacy team works hard to provide any requested personal data. Bullshit, you don't. That individuals are entitled to. They may be entitled to it, but Uber's behavior is completely the opposite. They don't share that with you. We will give explanations when we cannot provide certain data. Also, bullshit. Kept up with a specialized team which will never ever tell you about that explanation, such as when it doesn't exist or disclosing it would infringe on the rights of another person under GDPR. Under the law, individuals have the right to escalate their concerns by contacting Uber's data protection officer or the National Data Protection Authority for additional review. America faces an epic choice. In the coming year, and the results will define the country for a generation, there are perilous times. Over the last 3 years, much of what The Guardian holds dear has been threatened: democracy, civility, truth. Okay, I think that's a complete different article. So I already started phasing into another article. But let's look at something here, my friends. Let's jump over to Lyft for a second. Trish says, so they want you to suck up and accept the scripted crap customer service gives you that doesn't resolve an issue you're having. You got it. You said it. Couldn't have said it better. They want you basically, hey, suck it up, accept what we tell you. Accept what the cut and paste answer that we send out. You may like it or not, but you have to accept. That would be their ideal candidate. SDG says, true. Don't know where I fall in Uber's eyes, but I gave up on calling support within my first year. And that's probably an advantage. That's probably to your advantage if you are not calling them. I was a type of guy that would call them a lot. right? I would call them a lot. I would question them a lot. I would question them over referrals. I would question them over dollar amounts. I would question a lot. I spent a lot of time, too much time, and I realized, you know what, you're not paying me anymore for these referrals, so why even bother wasting my time on the phone with them? Kylie Smelt says, hey Prof, just joined. Can you give a quick recap of what you were talking about? Well, we're about an hour and 5 minutes in. We've covered a lot of territory. I think we really started talking about the PUA, and my advice on the PUA is it's 1 week away and it ends, and they say it's going to probably take another 30 days, so there's going to be a lapse where people will not get anything, and then the Democrats and the Republicans will have to hash it out. But from the article that I read this morning, my good friend Moscow Mitch, the guy that I love so much, doesn't want to act in our favor. They would rather direct those monies towards corporations. So our good friend there, Mnuchin, who sits on top of all that money and makes all those decisions, gives these billions out to the corporations, and what was first categorized as a loan is now grant. Well, grant is free money, and we have in the house Thomas Gibson from San Diego, the San Diego Rideshare Pro. Thank you so much for the $2.99. You had 3 epic weeks, right? You had 3 weeks over $2,000, and next week he goes to his other job. So I just said to him, hey, if you do another week of those numbers, you've easily made $9,000 plus tips, and I'm pretty accurate on that one. He knows it, right? That if the numbers he shared with me on the 3 weeks, if you were looking at his projections, right, his projections with the tips, had he gone for another week, he would be in the 9,000 plus range. He had a huge month, and he said, I think he summed it up yesterday in the text. He said he was experimenting around, checking out, looking at numbers, trying out different things, trying out things with his new Escalade. Well, that formula, my friend, seems to be working for you. But at the same time, as I say it, I also want you to stay safe. So I hope that you're wearing your mask and there's no craziness in your car, no people coughing. Now, when I talk about masks, and by the way, the person asked for a recap. We spent a lot of time talking about the masks, how divided we are on the subject, right? 50%, less than 50 said no mask, more than 50% say yes, we got to do the mask. There's no meeting of the mind. So we spent a lot of time talking about that, which now leads me to this point, Lyft, the Lyft store. Have you guys heard of this? This is pathetic. These guys, they say, oh, we're going to send you free masks, free sanitizers. You can pick it up at the hub. All those weeks when people were waiting, and the the PPL and all the safety measures that were supposed to come our way, we're expecting them. Now, in that time we were expecting, they built a store. No ways, we're not going to give you this stuff for free. You have to buy it online. To help make sure you have easy access to the health and safety supplies you need, which we promised you for free at first, we've opened an online store where you can order face masks, hand sanitizer, and more, because you need money. So, talk about delivering on a promise. Talk about the CEO and the president of Lyft putting out a promise there around March. We will take care of you. We will make sure you get your masks. We will make sure you get your gloves. We will make sure you get your hand sanitizers. Guess what? The clock kept on ticking. Nothing came. Nothing came. March, April, May, June, nothing came. Well, in those 4 months, they built a beautiful little store, and now you can buy from us. So if you want to talk about delivering on a promise, you want to talk about completely making an about change or turn, what you promised these individuals and what you delivered day and night, completely the opposite. What you need to know this week, the hubs have reopened. Make an appointment. Driver hubs have reopened across the country. and our team is available and on site, which is interesting because I have one channel where I made a lot of hub videos, and I saw a massive spike in searches on hubs. Because I look at my data, I look at my analytics of my different videos. I'm like, why is this channel suddenly spiking? Well, it was a specific channel that I had dedicated to hubs, which comes on the heels of this announcement that the hubs are opening up. So people are searching, okay, which hub can I go to? In Baltimore, in DC, in Denver, in Miami, in LA, in New York, in New Jersey, in Salt Lake City. People are searching the closest hub. But I just want to give John Zimmer, a Logan Green, a shout out. Why did you promise drivers for months that you were going to take care of them as your essential workers and send them the necessary goods that they deserve to stay safe and keep their family safe? And hush hush, quietly, you built this online store and now want to sell these products at a profit. And they say, no, we're not making a profit. The bottom line is they are making a profit on it. Kyle Smelt says, were any of you guys able to get $600 PUA as a rideshare driver? There were many drivers, Kyle, that got the 600. JJ says, France's highest court says Uber drivers are employees. Yes, I read that. You're right. Scott Tucker says, Nevada will have a decision today by a judge whether Nevada PUA did wrong. Well, I think they did wrong. They were ordered, right? That money was set aside. They held on to that money. They didn't allocate it. The state kept that money. That money has to go to the people that were supposed to receive the PUA. So pay out, Nevada. Kyle Smell says, down here in Florida, Uber is stopping all Lux and LUX SUV segments at the end of July. They announced that even before COVID-19. Slick Nick says, I went to the Monrovia Lyft hub recently since they were open due to their fast track scam on rentals, and they note feedback. I hope they get rid of them and make drivers responsible. More power to us. Thank you for sharing. SDG says, drove a MKZ hybrid now, drive a Lexus 300 hybrid. Lexus has more rear leg room for sure. May want to look at the BMWs, my friend. May want to look at the BMWs. Now, another screen here. Who's aware of it? Hands up. Give us a shout out if you've seen this. If you're logging in as a driver, they take you through these values, right? You've got to click on that, click on that, click on that, click on that, click on that. 5 clicks, then go online. Same with Uber. But I ask you, we have Stephen DeLong in the house. Welcome you. Slickneck says, I've seen that. SDG says, no German repair bills for me. Yeah, people, you know, their BMW plan is off the charts, right? The service that you're getting in the first 100,000 miles is off the charts. And if you know how to buy parts, where to buy parts, and you get the right mechanic, you're not paying more on parts with a BMW. You just need to know how to buy right and have the right mechanic. You know what I mean? So I hear you. That's what people say scares them off from German cars, but my true experience is you really need to know about cars and know where to shop and need to look at the best plans. I can tell you BMW has some of the most insane plans, and I mean insanely good plans out there. So what do they say? Health, safety, commitment to drive with Lyft. You agree to follow CDC guidelines and local regulations. Don't drive if you have COVID-19, think you have it, or have related symptoms. Click. Wear a face covering. Click. Keep the car clean and sanitize your hands frequently. Click. Leave the front seat empty. Click. Open windows and avoid recirculated air when possible. Click. Now my big question to Logan Green and to John Zimmer. I have seen the rider's equivalent when the rider logs in. There's nothing like this for the rider. Why is there not a mirror version of this for the rider? Why is the driver held to these standards and is doing everything in their power? You know, why is the rider not said, hey, I got in the car, I cleaned my hands, I have a mask on, blah, 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 blah. Why is the rider not held to the same standard as the driver? Why? Why, John? Why, Logan? Slick Nick says, my aunt has a 2008 BMW X3 and 2019 Porsche 911 Carrera. She has a mechanic that works on European cars and it's half the cost of the dealer. That's it. You got it. That's exactly how it works. You get yourself the right mechanic. Thank you for the people on the Rideshare Driving School channel for hanging in there and giving me the hours. I appreciate it. But isn't that a valid question, right? We go through this questionnaire here. Oh my God, my thing just fell down. Interesting. Why did that just fall down? All right, I'm gonna put that one back up. One of my live feeds just literally disintegrated right there. Okay, back. You guys should see my setup here. Oh, I wonder. 1 second. Okay, there's the one computer. There's the two computers side by side. There's one keyboard, second keyboard, third keyboard, which powers that computer, and then another camera. So I got 4 things running, and great Logitech, love Logitech, the good ones that is. And they're about 70 to 100 bucks. Oh, I see what happened here. Daniel, what you building? Nothing? I don't believe you. Alrighty, back there. Sorry about that. Whew. Archtime Gamer. I've been fixing my own cars. Save yourself a lot of money. As a hobby, I do that a lot as well. You know, I learn with my mechanic and I try to do a lot myself. We have Rick Nelson, the legend, Rick Nelson in the house. Says, howdy y'all. And he came back from San Antonio, Texas. He was out there for a while driving, came back to California. I met up with Rick in Long Beach, had a good chat. Incredibly nice guy, and really appreciate him in my channel. And I also had the honor of meeting Abstract Echo Jimmy at the Long Beach party, and I sure do appreciate his sarcasm. He has a great sense of humor. All right, so Scott Tucker, how are we doing out there in Vegas? How are we doing up in Vegas? Yeah, I wish my mechanic Ruben could duplicate himself in Vegas, could duplicate himself, because I tell you, he is a blessing. He is a blessing. Working on this Bel Air, stripping this Bel Air down, redoing the engine, the short block Chevy engine, the 350 engine with a transmission. I mean, step by step, showing me why am I choosing these specific gaskets over these, why am I using this type of thermostat? How do I connect this thermostat? How do I evaluate what type of radiator I need for that V8 engine? How do I get to the CFM, the amount of cubic feet of air going through the radiator? Explaining everything from an engineering point. Fascinating stuff. May not be your cup of tea, but I certainly like it. Carl Smell says, because the rider is the customer and they don't want to scare away the customer. The same type of checklist. There we go. Oh, look who walked in. Hello, sir. Dustin. Everybody give him a wonderful welcome. Hope you and your family are doing great, my friend. Dustin is driving in the house. Is driving. And Dustin, have you heard any updates on the PUA? We were talking about that early on, that it might come to a grinding halt at the end of the week. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, I suggest you do it right now. The guy probably has the highest or second highest amount of subscribers out there. He's dialed in. He's dialed into the rideshare industry. So hit him up, follow him. He says, thanks, man. I hope you and everyone else are doing great. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're doing everything we can on our side. You know, we distribute our masks. We have our sanitizers all over the show. I mean, we are, right, Danu?
Yes.
You know, we were doing whatever we can. You know, no cavity searches here, just rubber gloves. But we're doing whatever we can, my friend. SCG says, I'd go to German for sure if I could find deals and a good mechanic really wanted an Audi diesel. But diesels are great. Dustin says, yeah, I think PUA is going to end. I thought they were going to extend it, but it's not looking good. He's right, it's not looking good. And everything that I've been reading in the last 72 hours, that it's not looking good. They may thrash it out over the next 30 days and battle in Congress, and, you know, they're talking about another 2 to 2.2 trillion stimulus. This side wants these conditions, this side wants these conditions. Hopefully, somewhere in all of their entanglements, we're factored in there. Hopefully. And yes, Dustin officially passed Harry the rideshare driver. And he's real, wow, meow, meow. Exactly. The one thing I got to say, and I'm speaking directly to Dustin, is here, what really impresses me about his channel is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dustin, but the ability to learn and grow. I have watched Dustin from day one. The ability to learn, grow, implement. You know, learn and implement, grow. Let's say learn, implement, grow. Learn, implement, grow. Upping it. The intro of his videos. All the little bells and whistles. The hashtags. The keywords. The content. The articles. The humor. The branding. Learning, implementing, growing. Learning, implementing, growing. Learning, implementing, growing. And flying by the others. Right? Put a lot of hours into that. That's my opinion, and I'm just speaking my opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong. And because input equals output, right? If you focus on something and you put in the hours and you learn and you implement it and you grow with it and you implement it and you grow with it, I think his funny way, his sarcasm, his positivity, his great little slogans that he used, negative ghostwriter or ghostwriter, whatever you want to call it, I love it. I'm very, very happy that that all worked out in that way. You know, we all try our best. We do our very best. If we see, hey, whatever I'm doing here is working, so let me concentrate on that, right? I might be doing something over here and that's not really working out. So that it's not showing any results, not showing any money. Can it? Why spend good money? Why spend educational dollars on something that's not working? Can it? Let me focus here on this sunflower because it really wants to grow. So let me keep on watering it. Let me keep on watering my channel. Let me keep on watering it, right? So this sunflower just grows, right? Just opens up. Well done. You know, and I'm sure you would all agree with me. Learning is growing. Learning is growing every day. As Dustin says, if you learn something new, You're adding value to your life. You're adding value to the others around you because you are growing, right? On all levels. You know, self-growth, business growth. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. SDG says, been driving throughout the whole pandemic, I guess. Keep your car clean, wear a mask, and make riders mask up and stop overloading the nation's debt with all this handout stuff, or quit and look for a work-at-home job. And we're not on the same page, unfortunately, on that, right? It is your choice to go out there and drive during the most difficult times, you know, and whether you believe that the mask and whatever you're doing in your world works for you, that's great. But other people just can't afford to even remotely get sick because they have grandparents staying with them, because they have children with compromised immune system. I'm not exactly on the same page as you are, SDG. Dustin is driving, says that's why you have backup plans to your backup plans. Exactly. So if that doesn't work out, you see, you're relying on keeping on driving during the pandemic. That's your plan A. And SDG is sticking to plan A, plan A, plan A, plan A. At all costs, plan A, right? What I know what Dustin does, I know what I preach, I know what Dustin preaches. Have your plan B, have your plan C, have your plan D. Because plan A could come and bite you in the ass. Could be dangerous, right? So we have backup plans to backup plans, as he correctly says. Last week, I took my car to the car wash to get clean and sanitized. It was overdue for washing, even though I haven't had anyone in the car for months. All figured sanitizing doesn't do any harm. I mean, it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to sanitize your car. Not at all. Let's see, what do we have here? This article, Dustin, is really, really interesting. If you want to look it up, Uber drivers to launch legal bid to uncover app's algorithm. Very interesting article. I know that you came into the video very late in the game, but check it up, The Guardian. This is what they're pushing into the courts, right up to the Supreme Court in the UK. It's a great read. It's a great, great read. Check it out. Let's see, we did that. A lot of Amazon orders, a lot of Jegs orders, a lot of Summit Racing orders, products. Chris Buerta is in the house. South Africa is in the house. Says, I quit smoking after 22 years, 4 months, and feeling great. Fantastic. Clear those lungs out. Clear those lungs out. Good. Yeah, I think this article appeared in the Uber news feed. That's where I get a lot of the info. So we're on 33. Hit the like button, everyone. Got 42 people in the house. Dustin says, nice job, Chris. I've tried many times and failed. My dad, who was a heavy smoker, he passed away a long time ago, but he used to get acupuncture in the ear, and he would stop smoking for 6 to 12 months, start again, get acupuncture, would stop for 2-3 months, would start again. I mean, it was like, I'm sure it's not good for the body. Michael Levitt says, Dustin, be careful. The North Brunswick execution attempt is close to you. No, it's crazy stuff. Nice. Get him, UK driver, says Scott Tucker. Tris says, there are shady drivers out there, and a background check is not a big deal if you have nothing to hide. Correct. If you have nothing to hide, take a background check. Wicked Hustle Guy says, I quit every night and then start in the morning. One of these times. Good on you, Chris. Cool. The NWO Sucks says, good afternoon from New Jersey. Hope all is well. Getting over colitis and stomach issues. Pray for me. I pray for you. Pray for the NWO. Chris, what time is it over there? And Chris, guess my my screen, let me just show, I'm sure Chris will know what this is. Let's see, where are you? Where's my screen for my big computer? I'm going to show you now. Danu. Chris will know where this is. Come on, man. Let me just, why is my screen? I have a big screen. There we go. All right, I'll be able to use this phone and show you. So, Chris, do you recognize this picture? That was the view from my Cape Town house. There's the 12 apostles in the background. There's Table Mountain on the side. There's Sea Point. Oh, there's Clifton here. I was over here in Buckhove, and there's Camps Bay. You see it? Chris will know where that is. All right, I'm gonna end that stream. I'm gonna end the one stream over there. Thank you very, very much for watching, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great day.